afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Ginetta Evolution Gavra Racing League here at Algarve GP in the south of Portugal. Today I do not have James with me, Cadwell, as you may know him for his username. I have instead Ryan here today, and join me very kindly as Cadwell is ill. But hello Ryan, and welcome to Ginetta.
Hello, and yeah, it's nice to be in a series that's dominated in one car.
You've done many different stuff in the league before this.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain to the audience what you've done in the past?
Started off with doing the academy, like the last season of Project Cars 1. Went my way up to it was the Formula Rookies, and also last season done the GT4s. And then made my way into the commentating side whilst doing GT4s with the LMP2s and the Formula 1.
So a lot of experience, but on yourself here today, which is absolutely brilliant. Well, welcome to the south of Portugal, the Algarve GP. Quite an interesting track. I've driven around here a few times, not in real life, on Project Cars 2, and it's quite a difficult track, isn't it?
Yeah, it
with
is.
These GT3 Ginettas.
I mean, most cars it is quite difficult. We're coming around the final sector, you go up the hill, you take that right, and you're just blind all the way up until you drop back down, and you don't know if you're side by side with someone, you're going to be onto the gravel, and then coming around the final corner, you've got to make sure these cars are set up right, so you just slide out quite easy, get yourself a penalty.
Yeah, and especially when we're locking up the rear axle going into there, or you literally just sailing, you'd just be what we call aquaplaning across and going straight into the barrier, which is not what you want at all. No. But quite a challenging track. As we've moved across, we've had that 1 week break, and now we are moving to the GT3s. Last time we had the GT4s, but before that we had the GT5s. So now we're moving over to the GT3s. It will be a little bit more different to the drivers. There's a lot more downforce with the car, bigger engines, a lot more acceleration and top speed with the cars, and they may get used to them quite quickly, as some of them have had experience with the GT3 cars of last season. But hopefully we can get used to them quite quickly and be able to go and put on a good show for us this time out. Interesting one this is. What's your take on the drivers? How do you think they'll be approaching this week?
I mean, it's going to be it's new kettle of fish for these guys. They're not there. He runs out a little bit wide. He's just trying to get his bearings sorted for this track, and you'll see when they go into the qualifying run, they'll be running over these curves quite a lot, because you don't want to make that slight little bit of mistake and go off track. And you'll see that with some of the drivers. I can see a few names that I raced against and also watched, and I remember them being quite good. Turn 1 is going to be a difficult place to start the race today. It's a sharp right-hander. No one likes that corner.
No one really does, and you're followed by a series of corners. You'll follow from turn 1 to turn 2, well, turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3, as it would be. Quite a series of corners, and it's all quite tight, and when you've got a whole pack of 14 drivers going into that one section, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to find any room on the track. And someone will just have to give up position, so that means they don't get run over, pushed off into the gravel area. So it's going to be pretty difficult for these drivers. Hopefully it will cause a great lap 1. Hopefully a great crash for us to commentate on.
And this is what the view is for guys coming up into this corner here, sort of sector 3. You don't see what you're turning, and you see there's Dunlop. People running at full speed there. This track is quite a test. Guys, and looking at the calendar, there is quite a few difficult circuits coming up for these guys in the next month or so.
Yes,
Algarve up to Brno. Brno is such an easy circuit, but you can get wrong quite easy.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an hour here at Algarve. Before we used to have only 45 minutes with the GT4s and GTA5s. Had only about 30 minutes. But as you say, got quite difficult tracks coming up with the Nürburgring. That in itself, turn 1, you know, going downhill at a very tight right-hander, it's going to be quite difficult for these drivers. So they're going to have to get really prepared for that track. And you got the Red Bull Ring, and then it's just going to be a good fun for the commentators and people watching at home. It's going to be quite difficult for the drivers, and as you say, this track is a big test for them this week. So hopefully you'll be able to record, bring a lot of action to the stream.
Yeah. And it also doesn't help with the track being such a fast-paced track. I don't know how long the track is, but it's doing about 1 minute 45, and you're going at around 150, braking into corners, and you don't realise how fast it is until you're like coming up to a corner, a blind one, and you're like, oh, there's a corner here. And the drivers, most of these drivers being most experienced, they're probably not running any assists. You go up that hill, like this turn, after this turn here, you go up this hill, a bit too much throttle, and you're spinning out on the crest. I've seen a few people do, and I've done as well. You're dropping down this hill, and you just come in, you don't see anything until you're going back down the hill.
These cars are always moving across this track, and they're trying to get over to the left-hand side, the right-hand side, turning into a left, turning into a right. It's quite difficult for the drivers, and because you're moving the car so much, you're heating up them tyres, and you're losing grip over the laps go by. I don't know if there'll be pit stops today for tyres. I would think so, because there's such a high demand for tyre grip. But we have to wait and see in the race, see what the drivers will choose. As you say, it's just going to be a real big challenge for the drivers. But with these GT3s and brand new car, it may have more downforce, but it also might have a little bit more bite to it, and it might be that you go up a hill, you're undulated, and you've got no grip heading out into that, and you've got no traction with the car.
Yeah. And with the final corner being so long, and you're basically on nearly full lock the whole way round, that the final sector, your tyres are boiling hot. You come around this corner and you're overheating, and this is where the long stretch helps out, because you can cool it down. David's just run out of fuel there, but as you come around that final corner, you're feeling the back end slide out. So these cars as well, experiencing a lot of the GT3 cars, this is probably one of the best cars for downforce as well in the category around the high speed corners. So that would be the sort of corner for these guys able to get through with no problem.
Yeah, you can see Lonnie, he's just trying to aim for that apex so he gets a little more better of a top speed advantage going down this straight. So people trying to aim for that curve, trying to get as straight as possible, as quick as possible, as he then heads into the bits. Our current Drivers' Championship leader after last round, Imola, which I wasn't there for, issues, but had a very good race. Just extended his advantage, even though he didn't came third place. About 30 seconds left in the practice session here at the Algarve GP. Try track side with Angulator. There you go.
Onto the line.
So the line, he's off his delta at the moment, 4.2 seconds behind, but looks like he'll be pushing off this lap to try and beat his time at 44.6.
Yeah.
But so far so good for Lonnie, about a tenth in front of Donovan and about 3/10 in front of David. They have been, Donovan has been a good driver this season. He's been consistent, but I think he's been quite unlucky. I know Ryan, you wouldn't know too much about, because I don't know if you follow the Ginetta, but
no, I don't follow a lot of the racing really, but from the standings I can see there has been like quite a bit mixed match of the top 5 really, with the points they've got, from Lonnie getting 2 wins so far in the season, whereas like we've got Bax with 2 wins as well, but he's sitting 30 points below him. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of there's been a lot of different winners this season, which has been absolutely brilliant for action. I mean, Lonnie's won a race, David won last time out, Bax has won, Dalibin's won. It is that top 5, but 5 drivers winning a Grand Prix every so often really does make a great championship.
yeah.
And I mean, the top 2 is only separated by 7 points, and then you go down to 3rd, and it's only separated by about 21 points. So, I mean, it's not been too bad so far.
I would say Aggravator taking a wider line there, coming through the front corner, taking a shorter line at the end. He's improved his time there, which we don't get to see. But I did see at the last minute that Vasara's taken the fastest lap.
Fastest lap by Beza. He beats Lonnie by 7/10. What a lap that was.
And looking at the standings, he's down in 11th, so we might see a new driver coming up on the podium tonight.
That would be really good.
We've lost a driver.
Fortunately, we have lost a few drivers this season due to internet connection issues, but hopefully we won't lose any more of the qualifying session here, as it starts with 10 minutes of qualifying here for the drivers, 10 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, and then a 1-hour race for us to all enjoy. Put your comments down below. Who do you think will be on pole position here today? Ryan, who do you think who's got the best chance for this? That's just a random guess.
As a practice going, I think Sar or Lonnie has got a good chance of taking pole, but we might get a flyer of a lap from, say, one of the guys down the bottom of the lap. Dunlop might set a flying lap, and he might take pole.
A bit up in the air at the moment.
Yeah. But you won't get to see until these guys actually go for a lap, because they haven't actually gone for a lap like they did in practice. They were just getting their setups perfect, making sure it's all right. And these guys spend hours on setups.
They really do. Yeah. All for this one moment to try and put the fastest lap in.
Yeah, and also with the time they have now, with all the virus around, all these guys are more than likely all are off. And they've got basically 24/7 to test the car and make sure it's right. When I was doing the GT4s, I was working day in, day out, as well as my teammate, Bowley, me and him were working constantly, and we only had like 3 hours to test or testing each night. We somehow come out with, I think, 2nd place in the championship. Constructors in the KTM, which was the underdog of the season.
So it's a pretty good season then. Pretty good season.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That's just hard work. That's just hard work and determination trying to get the car on those points paying positions.
Yeah.
As we're just going to ride on with Lonnie. Ryan, would you like to take a lap with Lonnie?
Yeah. We're going through turn 1. Going a little bit slower than I expected. Going into turn 3. You have no view until you're getting the power down. Flick it to the right, flick it to the left, over the curve. Right, under the curve there. Coming into turn 5, racing stuff through the cone. The back end will always stick out on the road. Unlike talking about it, the stress drop it down. Right here. Loving hearing the sound of the car that has been so long. Down the hill, you see from the view here, and you can see it up a little bit higher than the actual drivers here. But I'm not driving in first person. You don't actually get to see much until you're back down the hill into the next corner. Everyone on track, so we've done that. There's not much clean air you can get at the moment. Lonnie's looks like he's got a little bit. Coming round towards the final corner now, you'll see how we're turning. Just go over the curve a slight bit, try and stay close to the curve, and straight line from here, up to here, to the line, expecting this to be a
So there's a good lap. Gets instantly beaten by Delavan. So Lonnie is about 3/10 off his practice lap time, with Delavan going into the 42 already, which is already by him. So already on provisional pole position. I don't know if he's going to go for another lap. Looks like he's trying to round up another lap. But what lap by Delavan? Thank you very much, Ryan, for that onboard lap. So, about 5 minutes and 20 seconds left of qualifying here at Algarve. Delavan in provisional pole position, 1 minute 42.9. Lonnie just closely behind, around about 5/10 behind. Beza, I mean, he's about what 1.4 seconds off his practice lap time. So I reckon he's got a lot more in his locker. Maybe that was more of a banker lap time for him, just to make sure he's in that position to be able to fight in his later qualifying, as you can literally just spin off everywhere, as you've been saying right in the practice.
Yeah.
Just go off anywhere.
As you saw when we was on board with Lonnie and when we watched Delavan going into turn 5, you actually see the back end slide out as he's braking, and when you lock up the rear wheels, you're basically in for a ride. Makes it even worse when you're in the rain and you've got no control. Luckily, we're down in the south of Portugal, which undoubtedly you're going to get some good weather. So
yeah, you're going to get some nice sunshine.
Having a dry race.
Luckily we have. Don't want it to be the, what was it, 2008 Nürburgring GP in Formula 1. Everyone was just complaining going down into turn 1. And luckily today we haven't got that here in the south of Portugal.
Yeah,
Beza down into 4th now.
Okay, see it is Delavan coming into this corner. You might see his back end just slide out. There you go, you see it, it's just kicks it out slightly. Some people like to kick the back end up through the sharper corners, so
just trying to rotate the car.
Turn 5, turn 3 is going to be the corners, you're going to be doing that most day. So we'll see how it goes for some of the drivers. I've seen a few of the drivers' names that I expect them to be battling quite soon. One of them will be Aguilera. Hope to see his name up the order again.
And David puts in the fastest lap time, just by 100th of a second. He's put his lap time in about 15 thousandths of a second. So small margins, and there you go. Lost traction getting out that corner so easily to spin off, and I don't believe he'll be able to start another lap. But if he can rush back to the pits, unless he wants to do it on these tyres, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
This.
Where is he in the championship? He's actually running second in the championship. So today, if he does beat Lonnie, he beats Lonnie by... Yeah, if David wins the race and Lonnie comes second, he'll take the lead of the championship.
Yes, he will. Hopefully he will. With about 2 minutes remaining in the qualifying session here, we have David in second place at the moment, and Delavan's just put a quicker time, and it's almost just about the exact same time as between David and Delavan previously. So Delavan able to gain some time in. You can see his best lap delta is only around about 1,000th off. So these drivers, they've got a little more in the locker, but I wonder where Beza is. He's still 1.4 seconds off his better lap in practice. I think he wishes he can bring that practice lap over to qualifying, because he'll be on pole position, provisional pole position at the moment.
That was going faster,
that was a lot faster, that's 6/10, and he needs to get around about 8/10, so he needs to find about 2/10 in this last sector. But he's coming up to a little bit of traffic here. He might lose a little bit of downforce due to the dirty air. I don't think he'll lose too much going through the final corner, depending on where he is on the end of this. He gets that curve quite nicely. Yeah, he'll be okay going through here straight, and let's see where he can get. Did he gain 2/10 in that final sector to put him on provisional pole position?
He went to 2.
Oh.
So he isn't
So
far off.
he isn't far off at all. He can make it in this lap at 2/10. That's all he needs, and he is on provisional pole position. Dalavan has gone into the pits, so he will not be starting another lap. David is on a lap, and Lonnie is on a lap as well. The top, so from 4th to 2nd, have got all within a chance to get pole position here at the Algarve GP. Lonnie has gone into the pits. David is the closest one towards Dalavan they could possibly make a charge to get provisional pole position here, as well as Beza. We'll have to wait. Qualifying session is going to end in around about 5 seconds time, and David is about 2/10 down at the moment from his best lap delta, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to gain that amount of time to get on pole position here. Beza, let's have a look at here how he is doing at the moment. He's just skyrocketing through the 2nd sector here, heading up to the 3rd sector. This is quite a difficult bend, always turning the car going through, braking and turning, not always what you want. Easily to lock up, and he's 6/10 down on his best lap delta. So in my reckoning, I think Dalavan has got this in the bag. Macbeth probably doesn't have what's left in there, as the car doesn't look too healthy from the front of the car.
No, it doesn't.
And the top 3 is all in the pits, and Dalavan at the moment, the provisional pole position, has qualifying as complete. Drivers will be able to complete their lap. Who's coming on the final corner?
Bashar gone into the pit lane.
That's Beza. Yep, he's gone into the pit lane. Running on board with Matt Bibb. I don't think he'll be able to do too much with 5th place at the moment in the qualifying would be too bad. Let's have a look, look at the comments for a second. How many races are in the series? Currently, I'll just tell you real quickly, there are 16 and we have about 6 left after this. So qualifying is complete here at Algarve. Dalavan gets pole position here in front of David by only about a thousandth of a second, 100th of a second, sorry. Lonnie in 3rd place, about a 10th behind with Beza, 2/10. Matt Bibb with about 8/10 behind. What a qualifying session that was at the end, Ryan.
Yeah, it was very good qualifying, and drivers that we actually spoke about being on pole didn't actually come out. And Dalvo was the one that was the winner of the fastest lap in the qualifying. And he's now down to this hour-long race we got ahead of us. It could be anyone can win it.
The top 4, and really Metbib seem like that's going to be a proper fight, 1st to 5th hopefully, throughout this Grand Prix. It's been, I mean, you can just see from qualifying there was only 8/10 separate them. I mean, top 4 was only around about 2/10, so this is going to be a proper interesting race here at Algarve in the south of Portugal. As we've got to wait about another minute and about 15 seconds until the lights show and they'll be able to go out. People watching at the moment, thank you very much for tuning in, and I don't know if you would like to put down in the comments who do you think will be winning this race today. If you get it right, we'll give you a little bit of a shout out if you really want to. But we'll have to wait and see. About an hour of racing here. Ryan, do you want to make a bold prediction and see who might win this one?
I'm going to say Lonnie, I think's got the chance. I think Lonnie's going to win it. I think. But it's a matter of it could be a commentator's curse. Could say Lonnie and it could be someone else. You never know.
We'll have to wait and see.
But
I think we should be waiting in just a few more seconds until we see those lights go out.
Yeah. Is it a standing start or is it rolling?
It is a standing start here for the Gavra Racing, and we're just syncing with the session, and that means we should be very close to the lights out here. Dalavan in that spare seat As you see the lights go on, and it's green. Delavan gets off to a decent start. David trying to follow as well. Lonnie gets a better start.
That was a really good start there.
Delavan gets a great start. David a little bit bogged down there. I think got a little bit too much wheel spin. Lonnie got in front of David. Yeah, what a start from Delavan there going into turn 1. So everyone be a little bit calm and cozy through here. And we're just running with Sea Eventer using the mix of it, 7th place, just behind Boston Road. So we've got 2 in front between Beza and McBib.
Inside, he goes, no, he's running a bit wide, and that's giving place.
Yeah, it's giving Boston Road a better advantage going through there, be able to get the traction down a little bit better. There's a little battle going on behind here, and they're all touching each other. Ooh, that's a little bit naughty. GTM's got that through.
But he's letting back through there.
He's letting back through, and he's going to let. He's going to lead to 2 places. Nope, he's going to manage to keep that 1 position that he's lost there. So he's defending him there.
As we spun, he spun out. There's 2 spun out, I think. Neil?
So who is that? That is. Yep. They have spun out, and that was that corner that you kept on talking about. Quite a blind one. And with a little bit of a crash, I think that was Pet Bib. Yes, it was Pet Bib who's had a little bit of an incident. I don't know if that was between.
Dunlop that was back through.
Yep, Dunlop was just waiting and letting him back through, so it looks like it was Dunlop's fault. But so far, so good. We've got a little bit of a fight between Algarve and Duke Martin. That's heading down the home straight here. It's just about keeping in front, so it's separated about 2 tenths of the slipstream. They managed to hold it going down to 2. Let's go wide on back on board with our leader here, Delavan, who has got a gap of nearly about 1 second, 9 tenths at the moment. To Lonnie, who is in 2nd, no pressure from behind. There is a little bit of a battle going on between David and Beza, looking to make a move there. Nearly got it.
Trying to do a little bit there, as I call it, the touring car tap. The English fans know that's the British touring cars. They all like to make a little bit of a nudge up the rear, trying to force them into a mistake.
So you can see that David went a little bit wide into that corner, and then that just invited Beza to just have a look down the inside, but he closed the door right.
And that is given.
Oh, and that was that same corner he kept on talking about.
Yeah.
People just struggling through that corner, and that's just going to be what's going to happen lap after lap after lap. As we're only on lap 2, we've already had an incident, and David losing a position there.
Yeah, that will be the problem with the rest of the race. They're going to be pushing the car as much as possible. They will not push as much as they do in qualifying. They're pushing so much that you've got the rear end, or they've got the front end of someone sitting behind them, and the pulls will just make a slight mistake, as we'll see around the final corner and around that corner that I talked about at the time, and that's where you'll lose time and lose the positions.
It's just a simple mistake, but in the heated situation it seems a big one for the driver.
Yeah.
You just see Beza right on the back of David at the moment. Might be able to get a slipstream going down this back straight here. So far, so good. A little bit of a battle going on between 9th and 10th, and Drew cut to that quite quickly, and Duke Martin has been spun around. I don't know if that was because he got on the curb, or just lost traction, or what happened there, but Duke Martin spun around and he's down into 11th place, lost the position because of that. He was fighting with Metbrig at the time, 9th position, so lost a place there. So far, it's just right on board with Beza, about 3 tenths.
He's going for it.
He's a little bit more confident on the brakes than David at the moment, especially going through that top of the hill corner. I think David's getting a little bit paranoid at the moment with it. He's just trying to keep with Lonnie, but Lonnie's just trying to get out of here and try and catch up to Dalibert.
From the last 2-3 laps we've watched these two battle, you can see Beza's got a bit more of a back wheel braking. He prefers to brake a bit later into the corner and able to flick it through. And that's what you really want with these cars, because they're real driving. They slide the back end out. You need to control the rear wheels a lot more.
He just lost the rear of the car there, going down into turn 1.
I was going to say he does look a lot more confident than David going through the first sector. If he flies through that, he loses it in the second and third sector.
I don't think it was locking up the rear differential and then going into turn 1. I think he just went a bit too hot on the brakes and trying getting out the corner as soon as possible. It's a little bit of urgency to try and get out of that corner, but just didn't really help him there. He's lost now 2 positions to Ginetta and Boston Rowe, so not great for him. But I think he'll be able to make up those positions. As we've seen, he's much more confident on the brakes, but he's already made a mistake on the brakes going down into turn 1, so we have to wait and see. I mean, this corner he does very well. He managed to brake quite late and he gets the car turned in, which means he can just get out that corner straight away, which is always great for him.
Yeah, you'll see him jump through the pack already, because he's closed up quite a bit of time on the Gavra. He'll be making him more closer. He'll be making the overtake going through turn 1, turn 2 sort of area. Because he's closed up within a second within this lap. And he's looking to get the slipstream.
He's closing very quickly. He's about 4.5 tenths behind Ginetta at the moment. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a move, but going down to the braking zones, hopefully he does gain a lot more time and then he'll get a bit more slipstream. And he'll be able to overtake Ginetta. I mean, it's pretty difficult overtaking in these cars, but then it's also quite easy to defend in these cars of how wide they are. You have to wait and see what Beza can really pull out the bag, as now they're only separated by 2 tenths.
Go for it here, in brake light into turn 5. He goes for it, can he stick it? Blocks the inside and he's done it.
He's done it, what a great move there. He managed to take off, managed to cover the insides, and I think Ginetta wants to try and make the switchback move right there. Beza blocks the inside, which means Ginetta had no option just to go around the outside. Yeah, what a great move there by Beza.
Finished that battle and he's already back on to Boston Rowe, so this could be another battle we could see going into turn 1 to 5 really. He comes round through the final sector now, and this was about the same sort of pecking time that he was with Ginetta. So he might be able to make it here as Boston. A little bit of a run out wide final at the corner.
He does very well on the brakes, I think. I mean, going through those corners, you can see he's able to brake a lot later and get into that curve a lot better. And now on the home straight here, he's only, what, 1.5 tenths back from him, so it looks like he'll be able to make a move going down into turn 1. Oh, and Boston Rowe just cutting through, which didn't allow Beza to get through. Very dangerous. Boston Rowe could have got taken out, but great defending there from Boston Rowe. So we know he can defend. I mean, I remember him from GT3. He can defend very, very well. We'll have to see how well he does in the Ginetta Evolution cars.
Down inside again, no, he won't.
Looks like we're able to get better traction.
Side by side, through the left hander by the nice building, which I don't know what it is. And he's making
They're going side by side, but Beza is through.
So 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds to close down on David to battle him now.
So what a performance by him already. Absolutely brilliant overtaking. through Boston and Saventa. So hopefully he can now just catch up. He's in clean air. Hopefully he can just catch up. But years ago, I think that slipstream is helping out a lot going through these corners. But Bezzy turns in a lot earlier. Ooh, and he's a bit out of shape.
Can he keep the position? He's kept it. Well, not for long, as Boston might make the same move that Bissar made on into turn 1. A little bit of time. He's cutting out the slipstream to not allow Boston to close in on him, and that's allowed.
So Boston Road having to stay behind at the moment, but you can just walk Boston Road right now. I mean, you gained a lot of time.
Turn 1.
Oh, that was close
battle between Mike and
Regulator. Move down the inside there, and I think there's no, they're not side by side in the back straight here at the moment. Maybe McBib can make a move down the inside. Can't at the moment.
Opening on as well. We're just over 12 minutes in and we're getting a big start on the battles. Might just let Aguilera through.
No, but they're just taking a little bit of a weird line. Managed to keep the car under control. But so far so good for him. He's able to try and keep up with Aggregate, but Aguilera's a lot closer. Can he do what his teammate does best in Beza? He get through that corner quite easily. Does look to be okay at the moment. Just have a look. Make a move at the moment.
Back of him in through sector 3. This could be Mike's location for making the move, as he's closed a lot of time on. We'll see going into turn 1, is he going to be able to make the move? Whereas Bezza makes the same sort of moves. He's going to go to the outside now into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make the pass?
We're getting a little bit too close. So it really was a drag race going down that home straight, but then Magnet just outbraked himself going down to turn 1, so not too great. You can see he's outbraking himself here as well, and he's probably going to lose a position to Aguilera, which he does. So he gained the position going down turn 1, lost it because he was outbraked himself, and then lost another position because he outbraked himself again. So not so good for the moment, but I hope he'll be able to make a move back on Aguilera, back on.
Part of the race, and they're both side by side, driving behind Aguilera as Mike spun out. Mike pushed a bit too hard and lost it just over the crest, which a lot of people are doing now. But we haven't spoken about Dallowin. He has pulled a 3-second gap already.
Yes, Dallowin's doing brilliant here on lap 9, about 15 minutes into this race. And he's already done brilliantly, as you say, a 3-second gap to Lonnie. I mean, Lonnie is a very consistent driver, and Dallowin's doing an absolutely fantastic job, even though he's 5th in the championship, and he's only won 1 race this season. He is doing an absolutely fantastic job here at Algarve, and it looks like he'll be able to win this one. We have to wait and see. About 45 minutes left in this race. Anything can happen. We have about 12 drivers left. We're starting with 14. I think we've had, unfortunately, a few disconnects just through internet, currently not being great at the moment in the world, but so far so good for the drivers who still are here. just go and look at Algarve. He has pulled out a gap to Aguilera by 1.1 second now, so that's pretty good for him. Jeep Martin, he is now in 10th place. He's only about 2.3 seconds behind Aguilera at the moment, so we have to wait and see if that battle heats up a little bit. Pep Bib all the way down in last after the first lap collision. I can't remember who it was. It was between. Who was it between?
What, the start?
Was it Dunlop?
Dunlop, yeah.
Yeah, it was between Dunlop and him. So unfortunately he's down at the back, but he is catching up to GJD in 11th place. Only about 1.7 seconds separate them, so I reckon he can catch up quite easily. Hopefully be able to heat that battle up. So at the moment there's no real battles going on between, but no, Aguilera is actually right on the back of Algarve, going down the back straight here into the final corner. Really is just a drag race at the moment. As if no one... Aguilera is not going to go for the slipstream, so at the moment it's just a drag race. And I'm going to have to wait and see what happens here. I'm just going to ride on board and try and get a good view, and it's not really... Aguilera unfortunately can't get through. He doesn't think at speed. I think he overrode himself there a little bit too much. So a few drivers already trying to outbraking themselves, aren't they, during this race?
Gallagher has a 3-second gap. Something that happened to him in the last lap or two. It's down to 1.7 seconds down to Lonnie.
So he's lost around about a second and a tenth. So I don't know what happened there, but Lonnie is catching up to him pretty quickly, unless Lonnie's found another gear, and he's catching up rapidly.
He actually is catching quite a bit. I've got a daily and
so we'll have to wait and see how that battle gets turned up, and Aguilera trying to make a move on the back of Algarve, trying to take a wide line going through here, but I don't think it's going to work too much. Coming over there, gets in the corner quite nicely. Maybe about 4 tenths separate them. I reckon down the back straight there, but even closer. Just literally just slipstream from here all the way to turn 1. Look at that, he gained a lot. I don't know if you saw that, right? He gained a lot going through that final corner. Going down the home straight now.
So I wonder if Aguilera set his car up as being more of a corner-based car instead of a slipstream-based car. There's a lot of time. GJ spun out. Oh, contact!
Ooh, huge contact there. Huge contact. And that is most definitely broken the cars. And we've got a little bit of a panel board on the track.
It looked like there was a wheel that came off. I don't know if that was just a glitch on the camera there. And they both spun out.
What a crash that was between them two, and then they got quite a lot of damage on the car. I mean, you can just look at Aguilera's front.
Yeah, the top 3 are closing in, but the 5th and 6th place are closing in as well.
So everyone's closing in a little bit. I mean, Lonnie's only about 1.8 seconds back, so he's gained a lot of time over the past 3 laps.
Pete's made another place. Pete's about to make another place, I think it is. No, Pete's made a mistake. He's now being caught up by GJ. Yeah, they're battling as well.
Yeah, they're having a little battle at the back. I think Pep Bib just passed.
GJ has just put it in the wall, and that is big bit of damage front end. So he'll be
There's a
going
big
to pit
bit of
lane.
damage as well. Don't know if he has to go into the pits.
I mean, Agolite
what we
hasn't
can
pitted, nor has...
Oh, he's most definitely got suspension damage. Yeah, he's got suspension. He's going to go retire the car.
Agolator and...
He's
not pitted. But the top three are closing in, and they're within a second now. Second, third, within a second.
Getting very close to each other. Dalvin's just pulling off away again. Oh, at 2.3 seconds now, separate them. So I don't know if Lonnie's trying to pull back because maybe he's overheating his tyres a little bit. I don't know what's going on between them two. David about 1.3, 1.4 seconds behind at the moment.
Yeah. We're coming up there nearly halfway of the race already. Liters.
Yeah, almost about 8 minutes away, and that'll be good. So at the end of about 5 minutes remaining, Ryan, I'll ask you for your driver of the day. So we'll just have a quick think. About 10 minutes left.
I'll have to think about that. So there's still quite a few battles going on. The top three could be battling away. All top four really could be battling away very shortly. I think we see a lot of closing on each other. And GJ is coming up the pit lane and being lapped by all but 3 cars.
So it's not too bad at the moment, not really too many battles, but there is a battle, what do you say, a bit of a battle for, I mean, Boston Row at the moment, about 1.3 seconds separate him and Saventa. And let's have a look at Beza. I mean, Beza, he passed Boston Row and Saventa a few laps ago. I believe it was about 4 or 5 laps ago, and I mean, he's just pulled out now. I mean, he's made about a 7-second gap already, so he's actually done a fantastic job. And it looks like he might be catching up to David, about 3.7 seconds is the gap for David, so hopefully he can go and get up into the podium positions after having a spin.
Them two are closing in on each other, and them two could make a mistake, which is not what we want, because we want to be able to see this battle go on to the line. Beza is closing in on sector 1. He's down to 3 seconds now on David.
Just getting quite a bit in a few sectors. You can see the back of Delavan at the moment. Not Delavan, David. So wait and see what that happens, how that turns out.
They're very close, second and third.
Yes, they are. Lonnie just falling back a little bit. This will help a lot with Beza trying to catch up them two fighting. So Beza is going to have to put his foot to the ground and hopefully catch up towards them.
Boston's under pressure from Ginetta.
There's a little bit of a battle by second, about 5 seconds. So we'll see what happens going into this corner. Nothing really too much. Have a look at between just real quickly. Saventa and Boston Row about 8 tenths, 7 tenths separate them at the moment.
We're close into the final 2 corners of the lap. Oh, as Boston's lost it.
Boston's lost it, and he let Saventa go through and lost the position there. And again, that corner, as he kept on saying. That corner again really is catching.
What is happening between Lonnie and David?
What is happening at the moment? David they're going down the home straight now. David, I don't think close enough to make a move down into turn 1. No, he is about 8 tenths behind Lonnie. This is also going to help out Delavan, and I think Bez is catching up a little bit here and there.
It's 2-6 now. 2-5. That's what I said, he closed it all into turn 1 and then turn 2. I mean, after turn 3. So we might see Desert battling away with these in the next 3-4 laps, I'd say.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, they're still battling at the moment for second place. Oh.
You're disconnected.
Yep.
I'll stay on board with
problem.
David.
Try and watch from the stream. Fortunately, I can't change anything.
You will be able to join again.
Yeah, I'll be able to.
Yes, at the moment it's David just backwards actually from Lonnie, and Beza is now 2 seconds away. So as I say, about 3-4 laps time, you could be seeing Beza be battling away with these two. Boston is trying to make close on the Adventure as well. And 26 for a second. Can you close it up the hill? Home straight. No, it doesn't look like he can. But also, Lonnie is losing time to Delavan. Is closing.
Okay, I managed to find the session. Should be joining back in a minute.
There's 2 drivers off, and Lonnie's lost the position to David. Side by side actually, poor position. Is he going to make contact? Not over the crest. But Beza is closing in. Beza is closing on to Lonnie, and Lonnie is sitting right on the rear wing of David. This is going to be a battle. We're going to get a bit of entertainment from the fans who are watching, and also the commentators. As there's a driver off, that will be Aggregator, I think. As Lonnie looking to the inside, and they do the undercut. No, he's not going to try and do the undercut into the corner. And go for the look to the inside, into the last corner. I'm now on board with Delavan.
I think there we go. We're back in the session.
Loses a lot of time to David, but Delavan is pulling away with 2 of the drivers spinning out just ahead of them. I don't know, one of the drivers had to spin out in front of the battle. Lonnie took avoiding the maneuver and it didn't work out, and he lost position. Looking to take back to the final corner and back around into the corner. Still in 3rd and within a second of David, but Beza is now on the back.
Beza's actually gained a lot of time with them battling away, so I mean it's great for Beza, and he looks like he's going to be able to get past. I mean, he got through Boston Road, one of the best defenders in this league, and he got past Ginetta.
Boston's lost his position again. He's down into 7th place.
Yeah, he's down to, is it Marco who's passed him? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Should get a little bit of a
battle for 2nd place now. So, to see, they're about a second apart on 3 of them.
It is very close at the moment.
The latest part of the station. 12 seconds away from halfway in. And these guys have not separated once.
These drivers also got to factor in tyre wear and fuel consumption going down this straight as well. Being able to fight, because they may not be able to fight this long with, you know, heat coming from the front cars. Maybe the tyres can't cope with it, and the engine might not be able to cope with it. back to Marco. Marco running a little bit wider, like corners are
very
hopefully.
close now from second to third, second to fourth. Lonnie is getting closing very quickly. See it under, dive on the inside, he's going to do it? No.
No, he doesn't at the moment. He does. I think they made contact there, and it feels just lag, but they did make contact.
They went up on the 3 wheels there, the wheel spin on the curb.
Yes. It's a bit of traction now, and he's putting some sufficient wind to Lonnie. I think he's under pressure, but Boston lost the ESC out, he's gone off a little bit, and he is way off Marco now, 5/10 behind, so that's not good for him.
Turn 1 on the
He's going a little bit wider through here. Hope we get a better exit. Get on the power easier.
Yeah, there's a lovely inside line on the tape on Lonnie's already a little bit of a gap there, final corner. Lonnie just sort of stays himself on. But there's a lot, gain a lot of time through the one. Good time closing it in here.
Almost. Wednesday. What was Wednesday? Bezza looking to have a little bit of a go on the back of a Lonnie man, but not able to find a route through, so this battle is continuing, but no one's going to make a move. Bezza's quite good for this corner, has made a few overtakes going through here, made a big see a Bezza going through here. Just calm the moment on the back of Lonnie and David. I don't know who is this up front, I believe it's Pep Pip. Pep's going to be getting with the blue flags to let them past. Blue with them? Unless it was, I don't know if you know. Well, I just say Pep Pip at the moment. You can he just didn't have the traction, and now he's going to lose a lot of time. David's getting away. I mean, as I see, Lonnie is not gaining too much on this straight. He's going to be about 3/10 away, I think, down the turn 1 game. A little bit of this straight. Fez is quite good with the brakes, he's quite confident. And you can see he's getting about 10th going through turn 1 at the moment. And look, he's going to try and make a move.
Oh, he taps the rear end there.
Just taps the rear end and it lets Lonnie know that Bezza is there and wants to get through. Bezza, better on the traction.
What happened there?
I think, did Lonnie brake check him?
It did look like Lonnie did drop back a little bit there.
Yeah, it did. He did drop back just quite suddenly as well.
And
he
also,
didn't brake.
David is 2 seconds away now, so there is a possibility.
Gee, I didn't expect that at all.
I'm going to go back on the stream just to see if you can see a little bit of a brake check.
I don't think there was brake lights as someone else is off the track. I believe that's GJD. I'm never going to get that right. I think he's going to be retiring his car. I do not know.
Lonnie lost the back end. No, he let off. I think his foot slipped off the pedal or something like that. And he's just dropped back a little bit. But it is very odd that he's lost 2 seconds, or nearly 3 seconds as well. There was no brake lights in the video.
I mean, there was no brake lights at all. So as you say, he must have just let go of the throttle by accident, or I don't know what's happened there, but we're going to have to just... I don't know how Lonnie is going to explain that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the corner before...
he did. I did watch back, and you do see him run out a little bit, and he back inside that a little bit. So he could have just let off the throttle a bit, just to try and save it before he loses it fully.
Thomas in the comments says, strange from Lonnie. I think he had a penalty, but that was no good idea to lift the throttle there. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, because he was fighting for position there. As you say, it looks like he deserved a penalty. But a really strange one. But he didn't brake, so that doesn't class as brake checking. But then he did also lift off the throttle, so I don't know what Lonnie was doing there. And he's lost a lot of time to David. I mean, he's about 3 seconds now. So I don't know if there's any damage to Lonnie's car, unless he's just losing time. He's just not really doing too well at the moment. But that was just a strange one.
Yeah, and whilst we're at it, Ethan Jones comes in with the 800th subscriber to the channel. And,
yeah, we've got the 800 subscribers now, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's good for the channel. We're working our way up into 4 figures. And in the next year or so, hopefully we'll have over 1,000.
So thank you very much everyone for the support over the past few years, and now 800 subscribers. Absolutely brilliant for us.
And the one problem is, Lonnie has come out, well, Lonnie's just overtaken Beza, and I've seen some people got a little bit angry through slight mistakes from other drivers. He might be a little bit angry. That car did not look healthy. I don't know if that's just the screen language. But some drivers do get a little bit angry when they're battling for position, and that happens. Let's just hope that these boys run up enough. And Beza has just lost it. He is pushing that car because he is frustrated. I've not seen him go that quick through that corner.
He is frustrating, he's just driving with anger at the moment. He's not driving with passion, he's driving with anger. I mean, he did so well to get past the Aventa, to get past Boston early in the race after he had his spin. And as Thomas says as well, and also in the comments, it's a real big shame because he would have got a podium, I think. He would have got past Lonnie easily, and maybe even caught David. He was seriously fast today. And unfortunately that's just happened, and I would really want to know what was going on with Lonnie. Maybe it was like an internet issue, or it was just that he lifted off the throttle and just got angry because the previous corner Beza did tap the rear of Lonnie's car. Maybe just got frustrated at him. There is a yellow flag in sector 1. I don't know if anyone's gone on. Doesn't seem to be. Just running a ball with Duke Martin for the men. He's got no battles, he's got nothing around him, so he's in clean air and he's just minding his own business down in 7th place. But with lap 23, only about 21 minutes remaining now, Donovan is in first position, and he's got a gap of about 5.4. I mean, it's gone from 3 seconds down to 1.4, now all the way back up to 5 seconds. So he's done quite well today. Is that GJD in the gravel? Yes, it is. So he's not had a great race today. We're just running on ball with David. He's got a bit of a gap between both, about 4.5 seconds each. Donovan about 5, Lonnie about 4. So he's not doing too bad at the moment in 2nd place. Be a good result for him, as he is running in 2nd place in the championship. And I don't know if this will be able to take him in front. Don't think it will, but they'll be very close between each other. But it has actually been quite a good race today, James, hasn't it? Brian.
Yeah, it has been with the first 40 minutes of the race. It's been quite a good race of battles. Unfortunate for Pezzo, as well, one of the comments said. He had a very good chance to be, I would have said, second place on the podium. Second, he could have even pushed it far enough. He could have got first. Because his lap times were, what's his lap times now? Like 1:44.8, and he had a little mistake on that lap as well. So he might be pushing 1:44s, which is what Delavan done in the last lap.
Yeah, and you know, that car's got damage. It may even have suspension damage, so it would have gone a lot more faster. GJD is in the pits. He's about 5 minutes behind now, behind the leader, so I don't think anything will happen for him today. But as you say, it's just a big shame. I mean, if you had a lot of confidence that he just got into second place, he may have had that confidence to go and push on further and go and get maybe even a race win. It might seem out of doubt, but I mean, with 20 minutes, 23 minutes remaining was at the time,
yeah,
he could actually go and maybe make a chance to get the win here today. Yeah, and Bezza's set the fastest, sector 2 with a 26.4, so he's still pushing. Yeah. So he's doing absolutely wonderful job.
Quite hard. David is just backed off a little bit, but Lonnie has got something up with him, because he is losing time constantly. He's down to 4.5 seconds now.
There's closest one at the moment I think we have is between Marco and Boston Row at the moment, between the battles, nothing else too close together, and about 3 seconds separating them. But the top 3 looking quite steady, and as you say, they're still going quite fast. Even though these tyres are quite old, they have been going for almost 45 minutes now, so these cars have definitely taken a little bit of a heat, and Lonnie losing the back end just a little bit going into that corner. We've seen a few people lose the rear of the car trying to rotate it around that corner, so looks like some people are still struggling there, especially with these old tyres. I believe Bezza may get... Oh, I think Bezza's trying to Tokyo drift it into the corners now.
Tokyo drift it in a car that isn't an RX-7, but if you're very drunk or high, you could think it is an RX-7.
Yeah, you could.
I'm only seeing that is because I am drinking alcohol. But when you look at it from that angle there, and it's sitting sideways, sliding, you can see it as an RX-7. You
could.
I have just noticed that it's got the same wing as the TVR.
It has.
The TVR Saget is the new... Griffin.
I believe he has been lapped. But hopefully he would have wanted to fight for the top position here. But we're just running on board with Delavan on lap 26, 16 minutes remaining in the session here today in the south of Portugal, in Algarve. I'd just like to say thank you very much everyone for tuning in tonight and sticking with us. I know it's a long hour, but hopefully it's been quite a fun hour to watch all the battles going on. And hopefully we'll be able to bring you a great race next week. Same time next week. We're at the Nürburgring GP, quite a classic track that is, with Formula 1 and GT3, and the 24 hours of the Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Oh, is it the Nord, or is it the GP?
It's just the GP, I wish it was the Nordschleife.
That would be a good race.
That would be a good race. I think I might have to talk to Gavra about that. But
we did speak about the that happened a couple of months back. I remember something like that. We were meant to do the 24 hours of Le Mans as well last year, which we couldn't go through.
Hmm.
And that was
It takes a lot of planning those things, does it?
It does. It was those things take a year in advance to plan, get ready, sort of thing. You need drivers that have a good connection. And
Yeah, because you have to share play.
Yeah.
And then you got the commentators who would stream for 6 hours each at a time. I mean, I'll be happy to do it, but I know some other people might not want to stream for 6 hours on end. But there'll be some.
I think one of the backmarkers. Yeah, Aguilera and battling in a second.
Gary and Aguilera are both fighting. No, he's lost a little bit of time now. Aguilera.
Yeah, he just let through the leading driver.
Yeah. I think it was. Who was it?
Lonnie, I
David?
think. Lonnie.
Was it Lonnie?
Yeah, it's that course.
There's a battle going on between Lonnie and David. That must have been Boston, isn't it?
It must have been as AK is just let through the other driver, and they're now battling Aguilera's car.
They're both side by side going down the back straight.
The battle for second is very side by side now. Side by side into. Oh, his dive bomb to the inside. Aguilera goes to take night place, and he's going to do it. He has done it. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're taking the inside line, and they're doing that acute curve, and that curve is spinning them around a lot quicker. So they're
able to rotate the car quicker. Very clever.
Pull away and get a big jet. That's a very good idea. And now we've got the leading second and third car. They are side by side going down the home straight. Is Lonnie going to make a move on the inside into turn one? I don't expect he will, but we've got Bezza coming up behind as well, I think. Yeah, Bezza's at about a minute and 45 behind, so yeah, should be about right.
It's Lonnie right on the back of David here. Only about 2 tenths separate them. We've seen quite a few moves going down into this corner, late braking, but not going to make a move this time. A bit of sportsmanship going on here. Don't want to just take him out going in that corner, so each driver's trying to be respectful of each other. And Lonnie he's just trying to find a place where David's going to make a mistake, but I don't think David will make a mistake at all going through these corners. Got about 11 minutes and about 45 seconds left here in the south of Portugal. You can see David just took a little bit of a wider line. Doesn't hit the curve at all. David trying to get the power down as quick as possible. Didn't really get there. But has David gone a little bit too wide going through there? Yeah, he has.
He's not.
He hasn't touched the curve.
Still side by side. He's going to take the second place back over.
Lonnie's going to go try for a wider line and get a little more speed advantage. You see that David, his rear stepped out a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. His rear stepped out a little bit going through the final corner there.
Yeah, it did. And that is Bassar behind, isn't it? Because he is closing very quick.
Going down turn one, no difference in change of positions. So about 5 tenths separate them. And going along to the back straight. I think Lonnie's going to be able to make a move. Going into the next left-hander, the hairpin turn. This is obviously helping Ginetta a little bit, as he's now got a 10-second gap. And with 10 minutes remaining, I think he might have this in the bag, but commentator's curse might just prove it wrong. So he's lost a little bit of time on his best at that delta so far. So he's lost a little bit of time to David. Lonnie just about keeping with him, getting a little bit of time through there. He's a lot sharper going through the curve there instead of David, so I think there's some parts where David just isn't up to scratch with Lonnie. I think like this corner, Lonnie's a little more prepared for. I mean, last lap we saw him, but Lonnie just couldn't get the traction down that he wanted. Let's just run on board with him on the roof of the car. See him go through this final corner, see if both of them touch the curb at all. David, he braked while he was turning and that just pushed the car wide as the car was just undulating with the two wheels. So I'll keep it going for too long. It's really got 9 minutes remaining, so Lonnie's going to have to make a decision when he can really fight. But just couldn't get him down to turn 1, too much of a gap and too much of a risk. They might just go straight to the side of him. David and Lonnie basically set the same lap time last time out. The only difference is about 1600ths of a second, so not much difference between them two. So great stuff between. You can just see Lonnie's been able to get a little bit sharper corner and get out, get a little more better traction, get on the power earlier. David's able to keep it at the moment. See what happens with this corner.
Oh, there has been a crash back. The two white dots that stop that Boston and Mark, so they've crashed out.
They have crashed out. So Mark goes up to P5. Boston Mark, I believe he lost the position. We didn't get to see that. Both of them late braking into there. Well, who was behind him? Is that just a lap car? Yes, it is, just behind them. So Boston Mark eager to make up that position. I don't know if it was crash or... Going down on the home straight. See if he can make a move going down turn 1. Doesn't look likely, but he's going to be able to make a move going down all the way to turn 3. Turn 2. Turn 3. No, he's not. He's a little more confident on the brakes. He tried to rotate the car there, but he just got a little bit too eager and just rotated the car a little bit too much and just caused the car to go on the curve and couldn't get the traction and power that as quickly as possible as he wanted. Boston Marco have a little bit of a battle here going through the final corner here. He'll get the slipstream, but probably not a lot. Marco a little bit twitchy at the final corner, but it looks like Boston lifted a little bit going through there, so he won't be getting through down into turn 1. Let's keep him on board with Lonnie and David at the moment, only about seconds separating. David able to keep it at the moment. Dalaman's lost a little bit of time. He's also at, what, about a second and a bit to David and Lonnie, so I wonder what's going on there. He's lost quite a bit of time before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He just made a mistake on accident, so let's see what happens there. Marco and Boston Rose still have a little bit of a battle. I mean, only about 9/10 separate at the moment, but I don't think any battle happens them. David and Lonnie going through the final corner, hoping to get the slipstream. And in about 45 seconds, Ryan will be announcing the driver of the day. We'll just run aboard with this battle at the moment. Only run about 8/10 separate them now, 6/10 going through turn 1. So Lonnie catching up a lot in that first corner. Going down to the third corner last time out, he just rotated the car too much. This time he's got it quite nicely, able to get the power down. Didn't get the traction that he wanted, he demanded from the wheels, so he wasn't able to get through there. And doesn't look like he's going to make a move going down into the heavy. We've seen many moves here today. He's a little bit tighter through there, which means he's going to be able to get power down quicker, as David was on the curb. And why would you like to announce your driver of the day?
Think about it, to be honest, still. I might get to the end. About what's going to happen. You know, I could go and say Lonnie or David. Like the brake checks and Cincinnati and everything like that. Keep my third to the end of the race and
Okay.
moment,
We'll wait until the end.
Keep battling away and Bezo catching up. In the last 5 laps or so, Bezo was right at the back of him, so it was looking to make a battling chance.
The difference between Lonnie and David's only around about 5 tenths now, so hopefully we're able to make a move on this lap. Turn 1, late braking for Lonnie. It's the curb and tries to get the power down as soon as possible. Lonnie's kind of a little bit unstable going through turn 2. The undulation going there. Lonnie wants the best grip out of his rear tyres here. He gets it. He's done him an drop back. Yes,
another battle further back. Mark and Bob still back.
Still at the moment going through the final corner. Both of them look a little bit twitchy going through the final. Boston Road just struggling with that exit there. Don't know if he's got more of a downforce ready for the corners or much more of a straight. He's gaining a little bit of a time straight but not catching up too much. We'll go down turn 1. Go for a move there. Doesn't seem like there's a move opening up.
For the lead, I think. Lonnie.
3 tenths separate them at the moment.
Oh, there's a mistake there. I'll give him. There's a little bit of a fighting chance to overtake these two. There's only 2.5 minutes left between these battles, and it's stayed at 45% the last few laps. But I don't know if Lonnie's trying to just do it on the last possible lap and then take the win
They are a lot closer than they were last time. Last time they were about 5 tenths away, this time they're only about 4 tenths away, so it looks like he wants to try and make a move either this lap or next lap. Next lap will be the final lap, so they'll be given the white flag this lap.
There's a lot of time there. Back a lot. Little time there running that little straight.
Lost a little bit of time, it's just the traction, I think. He was just demanding too much from the rear tyres and just couldn't get the traction down, get the power down and try and get on the back, get right on the gearbox of that car. See here, Lonnie's taking a much more wider line and cutting back in, but he doesn't get this successfully this time.
He likes a bit of a wider line, a better run into that right hand line down the hill. A bit of a chance into this corner here, which he hasn't made, but he has got the problem of being lap quality in front of him. One of them has just run off the track to allow themselves to
GG, I think that was, we've just gone out the way of the 2 drivers. Lonnie 3 tenths back, he is gaining on the back of that car, and hopefully the slipstream can gain a little bit more. Lost a little bit of time there going for the exit after the last final corner, but this is this will be the final lap for Davido, the race leader. We're just going to ride on board with Lonnie and David on this final lap to see who is going to become victorious on the 2nd place finish here. Both are probably going to finish on the podium. This event's only about 35 seconds away, so it looks like he'll be absolutely fine. 5 tenths separate them. We'll be able to make a move going down to this corner. Yeah, so the race has finished, but they still have to complete this one lap. It's completely over. So it's about a second gap now. Lonnie getting a little bit desperate, I think, and he's just trying to bring everything out of the car, which he can't at the moment. This corner quite difficult for David today. I noticed he's gone through there a bit wide a few times today. I don't think there's going to be even a chance for Lonnie to make a move again. Unless this corner helps him out quite a bit, goes a little bit too wide.
Yeah, Bob has ordered the tyres might have gone already. You never know, or could see a slight mistake that David didn't make a mistake here. This could give a chance to Lonnie to take second place. Dallivan's actually dropped back a bit. He's now down to 6 seconds ahead.
He's dropped back a little bit, but we're going to see him just across the line. As Dallivan, that's not Dallivan. Dallivan is going to cross the line to take victory. South of Portugal here in Algarve GP. What a race he has had.
Lonnie
David is going to
happily take second place, but let me just double check. Lonnie might still be leading the championship.
I think he might be as well. Ah, that's a big crash, I believe. Who was that?
That was, I think that was Beza.
Boston Row and Marco is a little bit of a battle here. They're both bumping the rear front bumpers. So well done to Dallivan for winning here at the Algarve GP in the south of Portugal here. But we're just going to ride on board for the battle for 5th place here. Going through the final corner. Let's see if Boston Row is in it to try and cross that line. It's about 5 tenths away and I don't think he'll be able to. So it looks like Marco is going to finish in 5th place with Boston Row in 6th place. The eventer has finished in 4th place. Great result for him today. Duke Martin.
The points. Whoa. Lonnie will stay leading the championship.
Oh, and there's the driver who had the...
I know who took out. Look at Lonnie.
Lonnie...
Yep.
Oh.
There's the anger takeout.
So what a fantastic race there.
Yeah, that was a very good race. Driver of the day, I would probably say, even though he had mistakes, and he possibly did take out Lonnie at the last corner, I would say Beza, because he was constantly on it, and he even got, I think, the second fastest lap in the race by 1/100th of a second. He got second place at the fastest lap. So yeah, I'd give it to Beza.
Yeah, it's been a very good race today here in the south of Portugal with the Algarve GP. It's been a great one. Dallivan takes the win here, and he will take his second victory. His last victory was back at the Brands Hatch GP only about 2 races ago, so he's on form at the moment, and hopefully to take the fight to the front in the last 2 legs here. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. Next week we'll be back again, same time. We'll be at the Nürburgring GP. It'll be at 8:30 UK starts in the evening, same as this week. But thank you very much, Ryan, for stepping in last minute. It's been a great race. It's been a great race to have you. And thank you very much.
Yeah, it's great to be back in the commentary box for a race, and hopefully I'll make a comeback soon. Yeah, it was a good little race to watch, enjoyable battle. So hopefully we'll see more. Hopefully we'll see more of me in the rest of the season, maybe.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ryan. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Hope everyone has a good evening. Stay safe. Stay at home. Make sure everyone have a good evening, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. and